The Gemara tells a story of a man that was walking down a path and looking for a certain city. And he comes across what the Gemara calls a Yanuka, a young boy. And he asks the boy, "Which way do I go?" He was at a kind of fork in the road, and he asks the boy, which way do I go to get to this city?" And the boy tells him, "Well, there's two options. Either you can take a derech aruka shehi kitsara, a long path which is short, or a derech kitsara shehi aruka, a short path which is long." And so the man says back, "Okay, I'll take the short path." So the boy tells him, "Okay, well, if you want the short path, go this way. And when you get to this point, you make it right, and you'll be at the town." So the man goes, and he very quickly sees the town. But as he approaches the town, he realizes that his entryway is blocked. So he tries to go back and then go around, but then he realizes that as he gets up to there, the entryway is once again blocked. And he then again makes an about face and realizes that it's blocked. So he goes back and he sees this boy still sitting at the same fork in the road. And he asks him, "Well, what happened here? I thought you told me this was short." And the boy says, "Well, yes, I told you it was the short path, which is long." So the man says, "Okay, well, let me take the long path then." So the boy shows him how to go on the long path. And this time it takes him quite a while to get there. It's a pretty long path, but eventually as he gets closer and closer, and it takes a long time, but he eventually gets closer and closer, he's able, once he gets to the city, to enter the city directly. No obstacles in his way, no entryway is blocked, he gets right in. And what in the world does this Gemara mean? What is this teaching us? And the way that many have understood this is telling us something profound about the ways that we try to enter the city, try to enter whatever new area or aspect of our lives, of ourselves that we're trying to get to. So when we try and get there, there's often ways that we approach that are short but long. And then there are ways that are long but short. What does this mean? So if you imagine there's a leak in your house. So the short, long way is to try and plug up the leak. But then what happens? The water starts coming out from another spot. So you plug it up, and then it comes out from another spot, and you plug it up. But each time you fix it, it takes a few minutes. It's not a big deal. It doesn't cost a lot of money. But it never really gets solved. Maybe it gets solved for a day, maybe a week, but it doesn't really ever get taken care of. So you end up spending a lot of time and a lot of money on this because you engaged in short, quick fixes that never really got you to where you needed to be. But then there's a way of taking care of the leak, which means actually getting to the source, actually trying to figure out what's really going on here. This isn't simple. Let me get inside and find the source of the leak, the source of the problem. I might have to spend some real amounts of money and some real amounts of time, but I'm going to try and deal with it from the inside. And that's the way that is long but short because it takes more of an investment, but it ultimately and eventually gets us to where we need to get to. In recovery, for those of us, for people who are struggling with an addiction, or whether it's just addictive tendencies, we've, for all of our lives, been attempting the short, long ways. The ways that are quick fixes. I'm not going to do this again. I'm going to take it upon myself. I'm going to deal with it in this way or that way. And I'm going to make another gedder for myself, another way of dealing with this. Ways that are short, but they never really get us to where we want to go. Maybe they last a little bit, but they never really get us to that desired land. We never really enter the city. And then there's recovery that is the long, short way. And that can mean different things for different people. It might mean opening up to somebody for the first time in your life. It might mean seeking therapeutic help. It might mean going to a 12-step meeting or ordering a book, even just to get information in a real way, not just things from inside my head that I'm trying to take upon myself. But no matter how many short, long ways you've attempted, just know there is another way that can actually work. Because if you've never been able to successfully get into the city, it's not because you don't have hope or because you're damaged too much. It's because you've probably been trying the short, long way for a very long time, and the short, long way doesn't really get into the city. And so maybe it's time to try finding a long, short way.